Wow, it's almost dizzying how fast AI is moving. What felt cutting edge just, weeks ago is becoming standard.
It really is. Keeping up is a challenge.
So, for this deep dive, we want to cut through some of that noise, focus on the key shifts happening right now in AI development based on recent updates and research.
Exactly. Think of this as your informed shortcut. We're looking at the tools being built, the progress on AI agents, how we measure them, and some real-world stuff too, applications and challenges.
Okay, let's jump in. One thing that seems clear is the sort of standard toolkit forming around LLMs, like essential building blocks.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. There's this convergence. We're seeing LLMs pretty routinely getting code execution capabilities now,
Right.
and access to real-time web info Brave keeps popping up there. Plus managing document collections, that's the hosted RAG thing for using your own data.
Yeah.
And image generation, like FLUX for Mistral and this Model Context Protocol or MCP.
MCP, that's for getting different models to talk to each other better.
Precisely. Making them work together more smoothly. Those seem to be becoming pretty common parts of the stack.
So the kind of must-haves. But you mentioned some bits are still maybe under construction.
Definitely. Persistent memory, remembering things across chats, and the really complex orchestration, getting AI to manage multi-step tasks with different tools. Those are still big areas of active development.
Which leads us neatly into AI agents, right? That's such a hot topic. Systems acting more autonomously.
Absolutely. Mistral AI's new agents API is a big deal here. It bundles many of those tools we just mentioned, code execution, Brave, MCP, memory orchestration right into their platform.
Makes it easier to build them, presumably.
Yeah, lowers the barrier. And then you got LangChain AI offering an alternative path.
They do, yeah, with their open agent platform, the OAP. It's an open source framework, which is great for, community innovation.
Right. And looking bigger picture, OpenAI is talking about turning ChatGPT into a super assistant sometime in the first half of 2025. Big ambitions there.
That definitely signals the direction of travel. But how do we actually know if these models, these agents, are truly getting better? Benchmarks are always complicated.
Oh, it's definitely tricky. Not just one score tells the story. We're seeing, well, sometimes conflicting results, like the research on Quinn's reinforcement, learning different views on whether random tweaks or specific data encoding is key.
Interesting.
And then you have Claude 4. Performs incredibly well on some complex reasoning tests like ARC, AGI2,
Okay.
but then kind of underperforms on something like 8 or Polyglot. It might suggest it's maybe better suited for those agent setups where it gets feedback and can adjust.
And the Sudoku thing was surprising. Even the top models struggle with the really hard 9x9 puzzles.
Yeah, it just highlights how, high scores on abstract tests don't always mean mastery of tasks that seem simpler to us humans. That's crucial as AI gets applied more practically.
So still some gaps.
For sure. Though new training methods, like using the mixture of thoughts dataset, are showing promise for boosting performance overall. But, despite strong benchmarks, the real-world feedback on Claude 4 has been a bit mixed, especially compared to local models. And there's always the performance versus cost debate with models like Qwen 3 and Claude 4.
Right. It's not just about capability, but also accessibility and cost. And it's not all text anymore, is it? Multimodal AI seems to be really taking off.
Absolutely. Beyond text, Google DeepMind signed Gemma for sign language translation. That's huge for accessibility.
Wow, yeah.
And things like Runway ML's Gen 4 and ByteDance's open source Bagel model are pushing visual understanding and generation forward too.
And for the people actually building these AI systems, any new tools catching your eye?
Well, LangChain AI integrating Langsmith prompts into the software dev lifecycle looks useful for better testing and teamwork. And Nemotron Cortexa topping the Cibazui bench leaderboard is notable, suggests AI is getting better at helping with actual coding tasks.
Okay. Switching gears slightly, industry buzz. Google's VO3 seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, the buzz is significant. Reports suggest a real jump in real-time video quality, maybe even better than Sora in some ways. It's sparking that whole debate again. Can AI art surpass human art? It certainly shows Google's muscle in this area.
Interesting times for creativity.
And we're also seeing platforms like Perplexity Labs changing how we might consume web content, plus tools from LaminIndex and Google, making it easier for AIs to use web data effectively.
But it can't all be smooth sailing. Are there challenges or hiccups cropping up?
Oh, definitely. We're hearing about usability issues, things like problems indexing code bases in LM Studio, models not showing up properly, memory limits for multi-GPU training on Unsloth, even small things like config file name changes causing trouble.
Annoying little things.
And some bigger things, too. Growing talk around AI security. There were reports about Claude 4 potentially being exploited, plus worries about generating toxic content or network issues on some platforms like Manus.im. These are serious concerns that need addressing.
Yeah, security is paramount. Still, despite the hurdles, the AI community itself seems incredibly active.
Oh, absolutely vibrant. Just look at the number of events, the AI Engineer Conference, the Agents and MCP Hackathon with Hugging Face.
Yeah.
Lots of energy. And El Marino relaunching with funding aims to be a more reliable place for evaluating models, which is needed.
Okay, so wrapping this up, it's clear the AI landscape is just incredibly dynamic. We've got these foundational tools emerging, a big push towards agents, model capabilities improving, but with, nuances in real-world performance. Multimodal is advancing fast.
Right. And the dev tools are getting better, lots of excitement around applications like video, but also these real emerging challenges around usability and security.
So the final thought for you, our listener, to ponder. Considering this breakneck pace across the board, from tools to agents to video, what fundamental parts of how you work, how you create, or even just how you interact day to day, what do you think will be most profoundly changed in the next, say, 2 or 3 years? Something to think about.